Hey guys, my name is Mark from JazzGuitarLessons.net. Welcome to this quick vlog. Today I want to address something I've never talked about ever, and namely it's the pain and discomfort in playing an instrument, which I just have maybe a little bit of an alternative way to think about pain and shredding, whatever. And of course I'm not necessarily, sorry, let me readjust my seat a little bit. I'm not necessarily talking about getting these finger calluses or getting pains in your fingers. I'm more talking about when you reach a certain level where you practice a lot or you have gigs, you carry instruments around maybe your neck starting to hurt and you have tendinitis. I'm talking about more these areas. So by all means, if you have anything, and I'm sure you do, if you have anything to say about this, use the comment form on this video, because I'd like to know what you've been working on, how you were able to surpass pain. People use foam rollers, or they do trigger point or massage therapy, or take a good bath. So I wanted to tell you how the story came about. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I stumbled upon Charles Berthoud. He's a bass player. He's got a very good, like 500,000 subscribers, YouTube channel, and he's a Berkeley-trained bass player, amazing virtuoso, really good lessons, funny videos sometimes. And he shot this video not so long ago about how do you master an instrument. So he says, I'm a pretty good piano player, I'm a pretty good guitarist, pretty good bassist. Here's how to do it. Anybody can do it. And it's like step one, buy the instrument and learn Red Hot Chili Pepper song. Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I did that. And then step two, and then I realized that out of his 7 or 8 steps, there's a step of technique in the middle. And I went, like, yeah, us, at least like jazz players, we are typically more like the space cadet type, and we're interested in expressing something and saying something before we sort of actually do the due diligence of being like classical musicians, training our technique and making sure we do it properly. So I'm like, yeah. So I feel that, although I played my fair share of scales and stuff, maybe I could have done better. I could have been more thorough with that side. So I had a long discussion with my wife, and she said, well, get off your I'm just going to say it, get off your ass and friggin' go practice scales and technique. I'm like, you know what, you're right. So I picked up a book, picked up Berkeley again, and just started to work on this. Volume 2, right? I finished Volume 2, and then Volume 3, I made headway, but I never finished it. I was like, I'm going to finish this and that. And of course, I started to feel pain the night of, and then the days after. I'm like, it's interesting. Because now I'm like, oh, that's why I didn't work that much on technique, because it just hurt, right? And is there a symbolism of me becoming too good and destructing a belief I have in myself that, actually my technique is bad? So if I strongly believe this, anytime I start to improve my technique, maybe I'm going to hurt to slow myself down, like, like subconscious sabotage of sorts. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, that I did that, and I realized that even though I might be sitting here and shoot these things for my students, I shoot chord melodies that are rather complicated, and I have these group calls and I shred, then I don't have any pain. But if I sit for 5 minutes practicing these scales, there's a pain. So sometimes a certain book or a certain technique will bring me back to a time where I had a difficult time, or I didn't agree with my teachers or whatever, and I'm like, that's the symbolism of this is fascinating. It's crazy what our mind does, because I remember a time where I would lug my gear around, have these gigs and have a lot of like amps to carry and guitars and get to gigs and play and have not a lot of sleep, and maybe my eating was not like really good, and I would drink alcohol and hang out in bars and play, and I would be fine. But then there comes this time where I have something to do, and I practice a study for, say, chord melody for school, and then my neck starts hurting. I'm like, that's interesting. So I keep reverting back to, by the way, in the last few videos, to Kenny Werner's Effortless Mastery. So I talked about the triangle, the way to master these things, and he says, basically, when you practice, you should just be able to put one finger on and stay centered, stay in that zone where you're aware of being aware, right? And you don't get fully absorbed in it, because on the spiritual side, it's almost like our consciousness, that the subject, which is a consciousness, can become confused, confondre with the object. Basically, it's like watching a movie. If you sit down and you're in a movie theater, you forget that you're sitting down in a movie theater and you get in the movie. So our consciousness has the ability to sort of get lost in the object. So Kenny Werner says, well, don't get lost in the object, just remain aware. So you're here, you're breathing. Your fingers are doing this, but you are just sitting here and breathing. That's your job. It's like, all right, so check this out. And the other thing I did, this is, I'm Mark and I'm a recovering guitarist. I have bad technique. I feel like this now. At least it's funny. I got a teacher. I got myself a guitar teacher like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I just sent him a video. I'm like, I'm trying to get rid of pain. And I have to share 2 more things I want to share with you before I let you go. So the guy said, watch me. It's like, well, Mark, you tell me you play for 5 minutes. So I improvised on the blues, right? I'm sitting here, actually. I'm just go boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, this hurts a little bit and this hurts. And then I don't know, my lower back, I don't know. And I think my technique's fine and I'm relaxed. So he says, Mark, you play 5 minutes and then you wind up, you say, I'm in pain. So why not just check after 10 seconds? I'm like, so if you check after 10 seconds, every minute, you're going to do a tension spot check. After a minute, you would have done 5 spot checks. So if you play 5 minutes, you should have checked 25 times. You don't need to stop playing, but you can still become aware of that. So I'm like, ooh, deep. Also, he told me, well, you could use a footrest, maybe use the classical technique where your left, well, in my case, my fretting hand, my fretting foot, my left foot would be on a footrest and keep that side played, almost like a classical musician. So I'm like, oh, that's deep. That's really interesting. Just do these tension checks because as I've played professionally and recorded and whatever, I think I have these deep grooves, like a vinyl, like grooves in my playing where I will tense up a muscle or something in my back that I don't have to, and it just stays tense. And then after that, it hurts. And I go to bed, I'm like, I played like 2 scales. Why would I hurt like this? It's not like literally that. That, and for dessert, because you guys have been waiting for this, I've also been looking to the symbolism and the nature of the subconscious mind as far as this. So I wanted to suggest this book and this author, actually, Louise. Louise founded the Hay House Publishing. Hay House, there's hayhouseradio.com and it's on Hay House, yeah. And it's her, and she passed recently, unfortunately. But this is just an index called Heal Your Body. And someone told me, well, this is just a great sort of a Christmas sock stuffing. Like you can give this, it's like $10. And actually, this is a part of one of her other books. And it's an index of ailments, pains, and whatever, glaucoma, belly fat, fatigue, feet, itching, injuries like cut or wounds. Like what does it mean really? And in a way, it's I'll tell you exactly what the columns are. It's like a problem, probable cause on more of a intuitive, subconscious, spiritual level, and then a new thought pattern. So she says basically that the thought pattern is what causes the ailment. And that ultimately this book is just the index in the middle with all the ailments and illnesses and stuff. And the other book is just the explanation all around it. That's like just in the middle. So basically she extracted just the index of pain and stuff. So I read that. And I don't want to tell you what finger pain is about or back pain or neck pain because it's too embarrassing. But not to say that it's not true that playing a scale in a certain way and having tension is what causes pain. Yeah, for sure, that causes pain. And on another more intricate level, there's something else at play. As I started in the videos, like there's a certain specific book with a certain specific scale patterns that will bring back, say, a memory and sort of the body remembers. And then I get tense when I do that. However, if I'm with 4 or 5 students on a Zoom call, I shred on giant steps, I'm happy, I don't get pain. Why is that? Same muscles? Maybe I have more overuse and more tendinitis problem with my giant steps improv. Yet, it's just these little dumb scales that would call pain. What's up? Well, there's a bit of, I think, the mind or the subconscious mind is sort of playing tricks on us. So anyways, I just wanted to chime in with this. Check out Kenny Werner. Stay centered. Relax your body. I'm going to do this and go on the record and go, I commit to, I used to do these commitments monthly. I commit to practicing guitar, but remaining in the center, remaining focused and doing a tension check every now and then, every 10 seconds. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and please, if there's anything here you'd like to share, I'd be really happy. I got so many students over the years to send me stuff like, this is my diet, or this is my this or my diet. I love you guys. I love you guys. Yeah, that's one thing. But also, I love the fact that you guys bring more resources, because I feel like as a community, as we just explore new avenues, we get to become better at playing music and better at being human beings. So on that note, that's it. I'm Mark from JazzGuitarLessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. That's me. And I will see you soon on the blog, and in the next video. Take care. Thank you.